Well, the first thing you got to make sure that you don't give it to them. That's same deal, is because they've done a really good job of feeding off turnovers, either creating opportunities for offense or literally scoring themselves, which is amazing how many times they've done that. So that's the starting point, is taking care of the football and minimizing the damage if, in fact, there is some damage, making what could be a bad play not into a disaster. That's number one. Number two is, getting your bodies on their bodies, making sure all your plays get started so that you give, your skill guys a chance to do what they do best, whether it be in the open field or around the line of scrimmage. I think those are really key points. Is if you're getting hit in the backfield as soon as you hand the ball off, you're not going anywhere, and they've done that some. So we just got to be real good with our technique and targeting and understanding who we block and how to block them. Just efficient play, having open receivers, throwing and catching when you need the passing game. Again, getting all your plays started offensively with your run game. Those types of things, you're going to have a certain amount of plays during the course of the game that are going to be a little ugly. As much as you like to think that everything's going to turn out exactly like you planned, that's just not the real world of football. So when you don't, make sure those plays, don't put you in such bad down and distance situations that you're always fighting the chains, and that you're not creating an opportunity for their offense by turning it over. That's I think what we did in that game as much as anything. We had opportunities and we took them, and as our offense becomes more and more efficient and understands more and more what to do, I think you'll see more and more of that. Oh, you just study all you can, but he's going to mix it up to where there's not going to be any true, here it comes, you know what I mean? So you have to, as an offensive coach, you have to make sure you take care of all the things they could do to you. If you don't call the perfect play, can we still handle what they're doing? And that's, I learned it years ago, is what's the contingency plan? What if you call something assuming something's coming that doesn't come? Do you panic? Do you make a bad? If we can still handle whatever we're not expecting at times, and again, if it's not perfect, minimize the damage, then we'll be okay. But it's really, and it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but you just can't put yourself in bad situations that become disasters. You know what I mean? Because that's how they fed off that all year, and then if we do that, they'll feed off it against us. So we got to be smart with the ball.
Is that just a huge test for those guards at the center, or do you guys do other things to help?
Oh, yeah, it's a huge test, and we do other things to help. Well, I would never tell you, but we always have a plan for it. So that's all I can tell you. We'll have a plan for it. But that being said, it is going to test the core of our offensive line with it. Oh, yeah. So I say minimize damage. If for some reason someone makes a mistake, because it'll happen before the end of the game, is minimize the damage. Yeah, that's huge, because we're going to have to. You have to, because there's going to be some instances where you're singled up, and you're going to have to get free. And if we're not able to do that, then we're going to have to hold the ball longer than we want to, and then generally something bad happens after that. So it's a joint effort. Yeah, it's offensive line handling, the A-gap blitzes or whatever. Yeah, it's the quarterback. It's everybody involved. To beat a team that's that good defensively, you need a stellar effort from your entire offense, not just certain positions, because when a team's good defensively, it's because they can exploit a lot of different things. It's not just because they're usually good at one thing. So we have to play well at every position, play aggressively at every position, and handle the adversity of being on the road and all those things that come with it. So it'll be a tall task, but our kids are really looking forward to the challenge. I know our coaches are too. Well, they don't change a heck of a lot if you spread or you play tight. They're gonna pressure receivers and try and still implement their blitz package and do all that. I mean, they're a little further from the ball, but they're still thinking the same. They're going to stop the run and try and take your wideouts out of the game with their corners. Yeah, that's a delicate balance. You got to be smart, but then you don't want to go in with the idea that you're going to get pushed around. You know, this is a a figurative street fight. You know, you want to go out there and match and exceed the intensity of your opponent. That's the only way you can play games like this. These aren't finesse games to me. I mean, these are games where you may be a little finesse in there here and there, but when push comes to shove, the winner is going to be the guy that's the most physical and won't back down. And still be smart, not throw punches when you might be tempted to throw punches or whatever, because it's easy to get caught up in that stuff. But that doesn't generally win football games. It generally loses football games, to be honest with you. So there's a composure that has to come with your emotion that helps you win the game. So, but you do want to play with some emotion. I'm not going to erase that. That's important, especially in rival games.
When a game is physical in terms of intensity.
Yeah, it's Michigan State. So, and you can feel that, Kids looking forward to playing a game. They are. And they're going to compete. I don't have any doubt about that. We're going to come out there and compete with all respect to what they do. We're going to come and compete.